Have you ever been abandoned on the worst day of your life? Imagine holding your newborn son in your arms while the person you loved most looked at him once and walked away forever. She called him broken. She said she deserved a normal life. That was the last day my wife was part of our family. I raised my son alone through sleepless nights, endless hospital visits, painful surgeries, and years of sacrifice. People laughed at us. They doubted us. They told me I was wasting my life. But I never gave up on my son because I believed every child deserves love, not perfection. 18 years passed before fate brought us together again. I was standing at a hospital reception desk when I heard a familiar voice behind me. I turned around and there she was. My ex-wife smiled with the same cruel confidence she had the day she left us. She looked around and asked loudly so everyone could hear, "Where is your broken son? Is he even still alive?" The waiting room fell silent. Patients, nurses, and visitors stared at us. She expected tears. She expected regret. Instead, something happened that changed every life in that hospital forever. A respected head doctor walked toward us with a warm smile. He looked at me first and then at my son before saying words that made my ex-wife completely speechless. "Everything okay, Mom?" In that single moment, every lie she had lived for 18 years collapsed in front of everyone. Stay until the end because the truth behind those words is something nobody saw coming. My name is Alex, and 18 years ago I became both a mother and a father on the same day. My wife Dina had dreamed about having a perfect family. He wanted healthy children, successful careers, expensive vacations, and a beautiful life that looked perfect in photographs. But life does not always follow our plans. When our son Noah was born, the delivery room became unusually quiet. Doctors quickly noticed signs that he had a serious neurological condition that would require lifelong care. I remember asking only one question: will he survive? The doctor nodded and said yes, but he will need extraordinary love and support. I kissed my son's forehead and promised I would never leave him. Wife reacted differently. He stared at Noah without touching him. His face carried disappointment instead of joy. Later that night he told me our lives were over. She said she could not spend the rest of his life raising a disabled child. I begged her to stay. I reminded her that Noah was still our son. Wife packed a suitcase the next morning and walked away. The divorce came quickly. She paid the minimum required by law but disappeared from every birthday, every holiday, and every hospital visit. Noah never received a phone call, never received a birthday card, never heard the words "I love you" from his father. Money was always short. There were days I skipped meals so Noah could have the medicine insurance refused to cover. Friends slowly disappeared because our life was too difficult for them to understand. One evening, Noah looked at me after another painful therapy session and asked why his mother never visited. That question broke my heart. I smiled through tears and told him some people are born to teach us strength even when they fail to show it themselves. Instead of becoming bitter, Noah became kind. He thanked every nurse. He remembered every doctor's birthday. He smiled at frightened children waiting for surgery. Hospital staff began calling him Sunshine because no matter how much pain he was in, he always made someone else smile. Years passed. His determination amazed everyone. Against every prediction, he graduated from high school with honors. He earned scholarships. He studied biomedical engineering because he wanted to design equipment that helped children with disabilities live better lives. Watching him receive his diploma remains one of the proudest moments of my life. After graduation, Noah accepted a research position at one of the country's leading children's hospitals. He worked alongside specialists creating adaptive medical technology that gave hope to thousands of families. Meanwhile, I continued working at the same hospital reception desk where patients first arrived. Every family walking through those doors reminded me of our own journey. Then one ordinary Monday, everything changed. A woman approached the reception counter asking about a specialist appointment. I looked up. It was Sarah. She had aged, but I recognized her immediately. Standing beside her was the elegant man she had left me for 18 years earlier. She did not recognize me at first. When she finally did, her smile carried no guilt, only arrogance. She laughed quietly before asking the question that froze the entire waiting room. "Where is your broken son? Is he even still alive?" Her husband laughed with him. Several patients looked uncomfortable. A young nurse stared in disbelief. I felt every painful memory rush back, but I refused to cry. Instead, I answered calmly, "My son is doing exactly what he was born to do." Sarah rolled her eyes, still living off sympathy. Before I could respond, footsteps echoed through the hallway. Doctors, nurses, and administrators suddenly stood straighter. The hospital's head physician entered with several specialists following behind. She smiled warmly at Noah, who had just walked into the lobby carrying patient files. "Good morning, Dr. Noah." The entire room turned. Wife looked confused. The head doctor walked directly toward us. She placed a proud hand on Noah's shoulder before looking at me. "Everything okay, Dad?" Those 3 words changed the atmosphere instantly. Sarah's face lost all color. Her husband looked completely stunned. The head doctor continued speaking. "Your son has just completed another successful presentation on pediatric mobility research. Families from across the country are benefiting because of his work." Nurses applauded. Several parents waiting nearby recognized Noah from support groups and thanked him personally for inventions that helped their children walk, communicate, and live independently. One father hugged Noah while holding back tears. He said, "Your work gave my daughter her first chance to feed herself." Sarah stood speechless. For the first time in 18 years, she saw the man her son had become. Not broken, not weak, not forgotten. Extraordinary. Daniel tried speaking. He whispered, "I never knew." Noah answered gently, "You never wanted to know." Silence filled the lobby. The words carried no anger, only truth. Sarah asked if they could talk privately. Noah agreed. Outside the hospital, Sarah apologized for abandoning him. He blamed fear, youth, and selfishness. Noah listened respectfully before saying something Daniel would never forget. "Children do not choose how they are born. Parents choose whether they stay. You made your choice. I made mine. I chose to become someone who helps families like ours because I never wanted another child to feel abandoned." Daniel cried openly. He asked whether forgiveness was possible. Noah smiled. "Forgiveness is possible. Trust must be earned." Months later, Daniel began volunteering at disability charities, hoping to become a better person. Noah never expected anything from him but appreciated genuine effort. Our family was never repaired the way fairy tales promise, but healing finally began. The greatest victory was never proving Daniel wrong. The greatest victory was proving that love can build a future even when someone else walks away. Every patient who entered that hospital saw the same truth. A child's value is never measured by ability. It is measured by the love they receive and the lives they touch. And the boy once called broken became the man who helped thousands stand stronger than ever before. Life has a remarkable way of revealing true character. Some people leave when life becomes difficult. Others stay and create miracles through patience, sacrifice, and unconditional love. The mother who abandoned his son lost 18 years and he could never recover. The mother who refused to quit gained something far greater than success. He raised a man who changed lives every single day. Never judge a child by their limitations, because the future belongs to those who refuse to give up. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe,